classroom. Hi, David.
Hey, how's it going, Jen?
Wonderful. We are so thrilled to be with you. And thank you to all of our classrooms joining from all around the world. We are thrilled to be together with you today in a conversation all around taking action and play and partnership. And we have lots to share with you. So we are excited to get going. And I am joined by my dear friend and colleague, David from Lego, which I know a lot of you know well. And I'm going to let him introduce himself in just a moment. But we are going to be sharing resources. We're going to have some videos. David has some great stories for you to share, to hear, and to learn about ways that you're going to be able to take action in your classroom, even as early as today. So, David, I'm excited for everyone who hasn't yet met you to hear your story and learn about what you're working on with Lego.
Thanks, Jen. Thank you, and good to see you all. I'm imagining them all out there, Jen, watching somewhere on a screen, I expect. Not live, because that would be weird. That would mean you being in my house, which would be strange. But yeah, we're really excited, aren't we, Jen? We did a session earlier today with Cohen, and it was awesome. We had some great comments in the chat. We had loads of interaction, and we're going to have a blast. But Jen, you know, one thing I'd love to know is where everyone's from, because I get a real buzz from that. And you're posting stuff already. Look at that.
People are sharing in the chat. If you're joining in, we'd love to have you introduce yourself. Tell us where you're joining from. David, I see across the whole world. So
Serbia.
You can see all these places.
Wow, Serbia. I love you, Serbia. We've got Ukraine again. Ukraine, welcome. Hope you're doing okay. We're thinking of you. Amazing. Romania, another beautiful country. Wow, we had Nebraska earlier, Moldova. We had Brazil. This is impressive. And wow, oh my gosh, from India too. It's getting late for you guys. Thanks for staying up. That is amazing. Spain, love España. Good to have you on here. And climate activists, hello. Yes, hello to you from Turkey. Good to have you on here, Bilal. Awesome. From Portugal. We're not Spain. Thank you for correcting me. Hello from Pakistan. My goodness. Evergreen, Colorado. I love it. The US representing today. Greece. Wow. All these wonderful places. I feel very privileged. Don't you feel lucky, Jen, to just be connected around the world like this?
That's
Isn't it awesome?
So, and people staying up late, they are prioritizing ways that they can take action. I know we have schools joining in. I was looking at photos from this morning, and they're joining together. And then people are watching from their homes. So we're so grateful for them being here.
So cool. And it's a pleasure to be united for a cause. I agree with you completely, Juana. Thank you. So, shall we get this show on the road? Let's thank you, everyone. And Jen, I'll start presenting now and take everyone through.
Awesome.
But do keep the comments coming. Jen is in charge of comments and chat comments. So
I'm going to be back there looking for them.
You're amazing. And we look at all of the comments. So even if your comment isn't posted, we will have a look at it and see it and be made very happy by it, I'm sure. So I will start presenting. So we got the first slide coming up here. There you go. I always get this wrong. There it is. The first slide. Welcome, everyone. A little bit about what we're doing today, so you're aware. We're going to be introducing you to Build the Change. For some of you, it will be a recap. You will already know what Build the Change is, but for many of you, you might not know what it is. And my job is to tell you what it is. So I will get to that in a second. I am in my office at home at the moment, which I've decorated over COVID, as many of us have. And I have a drum kit in my office, which is really good fun. So if I ever say a bad joke, I will play the drums. All right. There you go. First webinar you've had maybe with a drum kit, hopefully. I play other instruments too, so any requests, do send them through. Anyway, good to have you all here. We are here to talk about Build the Change and to give you a challenge. We've prepared a workshop for you that you can do in your class, in your own time after this webinar, and share your ideas with us afterwards. But more on that later, okay? So first of all, I just wanted to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know, my name's David Pallash. I work at the Lego Group. I've been at Lego, this is my 8th year already. Believe it or not, they have put up with me for 8 long years. And I'm still here and I'm still loving it because I get to make programs for all of you to connect more with learning through play and sustainability. So what a cool job, huh? Very lucky. But this is me on this slide. You can see here. This is me. I just wanted to show you a collage of photos that capture my crazy, crazy world. Obviously, play and Lego and just wonderful, fun things is a big part of my life. But as you can see, wildlife, nature, planet, environment, huge part of my life. I am incredibly passionate about this world and everything on it, including humans. Society and environment are big passions of mine, but the environment and the wildlife side of things, protecting biodiversity, is a huge thing for me, especially outside of work. I get to do it inside of work. I get to work on those topics, but outside of work, I do a lot of conservation. I do a lot of bird research. You can see me in the research lab. We're catching birds there and ringing them, weighing them, measuring them, and then sending them on migration to Africa. And I love wildlife photography. Like many of you, you're passionate about telling stories and connecting people to the planet through your stories. I like to do the same through wildlife photography. So those are some of my images of lions, and there's a bee to there and a lovely crocodile with big teeth. Luckily, we didn't get too close or too familiar with each other because those are big teeth. And my favorite image is this one of the meerkat. I mean, that sums up, I am infatuated with the living world, and that little creature made me very happy indeed a few months ago. Good, so that's me. Enough about me. Let's get to the main show. All right, so Build the Change. Here we go. Quick intro. Build the Change is our biggest kind of climate, environment, society program. We create loads of content for you folks, educators, children, young people to get involved with. And it's funded by our very good friends at the Lego Foundation. The Lego Foundation owns 25% of the Lego Group. They own 25%. It's amazing. What they do with that 25% is even more amazing. They use that money, that funding, to make sure that play is a part of as many children's lives around the world. And they work way beyond in spaces that the Lego Group aren't active. So we love them. And they give us funding for our Build the Change program. So we feel very lucky, and thank you all at the Lego Foundation. So we want to make a positive impact, and Build the Change is a small team of 3 people, and we want to get as many of you connected and empowered and sharing your ideas around the world as possible. So we are in good company with Jen and Cohen and the team. Basically invites children around the world to take on real social and environmental sustainability challenges and to use their creativity to propose their own solutions. Now, this is where, the Lego Group have 90 years of play experience, and we want to use play to connect, to get people ideating on these problems. So it's pretty cool. It's a real privilege. So this learning through play experience is happening in schools, events, workshops, homes around the world, and we have a blast. It's a really simple approach. We want to give you, I've got my drumstick here. I'm going to use my drumstick because I feel very like a lot of authority when I have this drumstick. So we want you, this is the very simple approach to Build the Change. We give young people the knowledge they might need on a topic. We immerse you guys in the topic, and then we give you a big creative challenge based on that topic. So we might be looking at biodiversity and climate change, and then we say, okay, maybe you remember last year, design a solution to help a species of your choice. And then after the big create section, we want you to share your ideas. Sharing is a really important part of this, and we have been trying to get better at doing that with all of your ideas. We see ourselves, our team, as the megaphone for your ideas. So whenever we get ideas, we want to share them with decision makers, politicians, people in power, people in kind of positions of power and positions of change. And we can't do that without your ideas. So sharing your ideas at the end of this program is really important. So I can't emphasize that enough. Thank you in advance. And we love sharing your ideas. Anyway, I think, Jen, we've got a video now of what Build the Change is. So have a little watch of this, and we'll see you in a couple minutes. Here we go.
Grab a seat, any seat. Maybe we'll split up.
Can you name an animal that's really facing extinction?
Red pandas.
Yeah, red pandas, good one.
Hedgehogs. Orcas.
Orcas, yes.
Planet Earth has all these cycles. Do you understand what a cycle is? A natural cycle.
Put some flowers down.
We've made a reservoir because of elephants. They don't get enough water.
We built a habitat for red pandas, and there's a little boat that, if anytime they want, they can have a little sail.
For children to be heard, because often it's the adults speaking and not children. Plus, we're the future. And by the time the adults are dead, we'll be running the country.
They were saying, like, don't listen to adults. They were like, listen to children. They've got all the good ideas. Yeah, it's just that. Shoo. We're in charge now.
I like it.
Like,
I like
they
it.
have to listen to us.
You guys rock. You guys rock. Take care.
Amazing. Well done. Look, I've got a big Lego head here. I can almost position it so it's like it's on top of my body. Anyway, good. Lego head, you go over here. By the way, look, I have a Lego minifigure here. Now, this is me. This was made a few years ago, and it's my business card. You can see on the back. Isn't that cool? I don't know if it looks like me. Let's see. Jury's out on that one, but I'm very happy to have it. Anyway, back to the show. Right. That was a really cool video. I love the young people at the end. Some of the comments they say about adults needing to get out of the way and let the children through, because that is what we believe. That is what I believe. I've been working with children, young people for 20 years. And I couldn't be more passionate about it. I think you have amazing ideas. You need to share them. People need to listen to you more, and we're here to make sure they do. So why do we Build the Change? There are a couple things, 3 things. One of them is learning through play, as I mentioned at the top. One is sustainability. So you may have noticed, but there isn't enough sustainability education around the world. Maybe, I think you guys are super engaged, so you get a lot of it. But generally speaking, many countries still don't connect children to sustainability early enough. And we need to do it more. We need to nurture amazing change makers that actually care about the environment, the planet, and the people on it, and everything else. And if we don't do that early enough, we get into problems like we have now. So we need to change that. And then lastly, as I said, we need to amplify your voices. We need to amplify, so I'll put this down in a second. We need to amplify your voices. They're so important to be heard, and we need to make sure that you guys are heard. So we'll work hard on that, I promise. So build the change. What kind of topics have we done? Well, we've done a few things. We've done sustainable buildings and cities. You know, there's more content coming out in the future, so watch out for that. Last year, we launched our biodiversity and climate change course. I hope you enjoyed that. This year, we're very excited to launch our circular economy course called A Future Without Waste. Imagine such a thing. You'll hear more on that in a second. We did that with our partners at Ellen MacArthur Foundation. If you don't know Ellen MacArthur Foundation, please check them out. They are the circular economy outfit organization. They are driving more and more businesses around the world to become circular in nature, which is super cool, and we love them. We've got a new course coming out a little later this year called Human Impact. We're making that with the Natural History Museum in London. Now get this, Natural History Museum in London, if you ever get the chance to visit London, you have to go there. They have Charles Darwin's collection, they have dinosaurs, they have microbes, moths, butterflies, mammoths, sloths, sea creatures from the deep, everything. And we're really good friends, so we're really excited about that course. Look out for it soon. And then one other we're going to be doing to look out for, you might think, well, it's not environmental, diversity, inclusion. You're right, it isn't. But as you know, societal issues and environmental issues go hand in hand, and we can't fix one without the other. So we are going to be doing society build the changes too. So look out for those in the future. You may have noticed I missed one out in the middle of the deck here, and it's all about building instructions for a better world. We went to the climate change conference last year. You may have seen me when I was up there. I did the Climate Action Day from Glasgow. We made this little clip. We did loads of stuff up there. We've got a clip for you. Have a little watch of that. Jen's got it to play now.
My favourite thing about the planet is the greenery.
The human beings and the creatures and just the space around us.
Where we create a bond with other people.
I really love nature, and sometimes it makes me feel sad how people are cutting down trees.
Children have amazing imaginations. They can create things that we can't, they can see things that we can't. We need to involve their ideas more in decision making. Across the world, we've talked to 6,000 children. We asked them to give us 3 instructions that they would give world leaders to better protect the planet from climate change. We've collected those ideas and we've created building instructions for a better world.
Is about giving students the opportunity for their voices to be heard, and then for us to kind of give them a platform to share those ideas.
It's a fabulous idea to be illustrating what children are really concerned about. We need to learn from them, we need to hear what their concerns are, and then address them.
We are urging world leaders and policymakers to give young people this critical opportunity to meaningfully participate in decisions that will deeply affect them. And we look forward to working with our partner, the LEGO Group, to ensure that young people's voices are listened to and acted upon.
Amazing to dive into their imagination, lots of ideas, and they're just absolutely loving it.
It's really exciting to see where this manual is going, these building instructions. We plan to take these as far and wide as we can into the hands of decision makers, start integrating children's ideas into those big decisions that are impacting their future.
Wow, beautiful. Every time I watch that, it takes me back. It was a great time, but equally frustrating for many of us around the world because there's so much to do, and some people don't listen as much as others, and we need to change that, don't we? All those cool people out there. Now, I do have one of the booklets here, and I just wanted to show you because I was really happy. We have a message from children to adults in the front. Don't worry, I don't expect you to read that. But in it, I just want to read a few lines because this is how we feel, and this is how you feel, I'm sure. So this is from children. Dear grown-ups, great, we have your attention. We know you're very busy and have lots of very serious things to do. Time is precious. We understand that. However, our time, especially our future, and the planet you are leaving to us are also precious. Now, that just makes me it energizes me. It really energizes me because I think you young people have so much to say. And this paragraph here, you can check it out online. You can download the PDF, but it ends like this. It says, the power may be yours, but the future is ours. Please act and please involve us. Very simple to understand. Let's hope more people understand that and get children involved in these big decisions. So back to the presentation. You can see some of the children's ideas on the, I never know which side it is. There we go, this side. Look at all these cool ideas. We've got a young lady here who built fox habitat and it's filled with trash and someone is cleaning it up to help the environment. That's cool. One in the middle at the top, that's a circular economy design for a site. They've redesigned a site. We've got the lady down below. She's also looking at bee houses and bringing pollinators back to all those habitats that have lost, all the habitats we have lost. And we need to take care of our pollinators, as you know. We've also got some on the next slide, so you can see here. Now, I just wanted to point out, we're going to give you a challenge at the end. And it's really important that you guys understand that you do not need Lego bricks to do it. We want to see creativity, whatever it looks like. You could build something with bricks, of course, but you could equally draw something. You could glue something. You can paint something. You can sculpt something. If you have a nice piece of rock, maybe you can chisel that into your idea. It might take a bit longer, but give it a go. Who knows? It might work. But also Minecraft. People use Minecraft. People use cardboard, digital drawings, all of that. So do get involved with other stuff. More on that later. But for the educators, especially out there, just wanted to point out, we have 3 strands to build the change. What we're talking about today is the workshop or events strand. So this is a shorter 90-minute workshop pack that we will provide you, and we'll have more of those being available in the future. But mainly for educators, we have the Build the Change Educator strand. And this is where we provide maybe every year 2 courses on really important topics. You saw them earlier, human habitat, circular economy. And those are big 5 to 6 session long packs. So that is not what we're looking at today, but they are available, and Cohen and Jen will make those known to you later. Build the Change Home is more about digital platforms like Lego Live and something called Pop Jam, where we put content where children already are. Less of that is happening today. We're mainly looking at the events and educator. Cool. So I'm sure you're asking yourselves, so how is the Climate Action Project involved in this? What can we do? Good question. Very good question. Now, I think I can show you. It'd be weird if it just ended and I couldn't show you, but I am going to show you because I have the answers. We have prepared for you a workshop pack. Now, inside the zip file, which you can download at a link we'll share shortly, you can get a workshop PDF, and we recommend 90 to 120 minutes to get that going, to get through it all. We provide, as you can see, those slides have very little writing on them. So you do need some notes. And if you're working in a class, your teacher or educator can download those notes and use those. If you're by yourself and you want to get involved, you can also read those notes. Either way is cool, but they're there for you to use and give you extra context. Context is key. And then the last one is Build the Change introduction, just to give you a reminder of what Build the Change is and what David was talking and spouting about earlier in this session, in case you forgot. Good. So Jen will put the link, if you could post the link on the screen now, Jen, for the download of the workshop pack. Is that possible? Hey, look at that. So the Tag Lego intro. That is a nice, easy link to remember, isn't it? So do jump on there and get your packs. Maybe do it in a second, so I've still got your attention. But write it down, at least. Good. Okay, now, I said a few bad jokes, so I'm just going to do catch up, because I forgot to last session and everyone called me out. They didn't call me out for saying bad jokes, but they called me out for not drumming. So I've got it out the way. So step by step, this is all you need to do. You need to download the pack, you need to work your way through the workshop, and then you need to upload and share your idea via the Climate Action Project. And we also have a link for that, which we'll share with you later and we'll put into the comments. All right, so I guess you want to know what the challenge is. Well, guess what? I have it. Let's take a look at the workshop. Now, we're not doing the workshop now, as you know. This is a kind of informative session to get you excited about the topic and to give you the information you need to go away and then create crazy ideas and share them back with us. And that is what I hope will happen, because we will only make change happen if we share our ideas and we talk and discuss them, which is something you already know, I'm sure. So let's take a look at the workshop. You may have guessed what the topic is already. I've given some hints, but here it is. I'm going to work through this very quickly. As I said, it's not the workshop itself. I'm going to go through the slides quickly and just show you what it is and show you a few videos. But the topic to start with is this. So we are looking at a future without waste. So it is the circular economy topic. Now, circular economy is something you may or may not have heard of. It may sound scary to you. It certainly sounds strange, doesn't it? A circular economy sounds serious. Well, it's a really super easy concept, but it does need a little bit of a helping hand, especially grown-ups. Grown-ups don't even know what it is. So we need to help them understand it too. So in a minute, you'll see some cool videos and we'll talk through that. But let's just show you what's in the pack. All right, let's head through. So you can watch this video when you do the workshop. It's a lovely introduction from Leo and Linda. You may have seen this already, but let's go to the next one. So a future without waste, designing things differently, because that's what we need to do. We have some poll questions. So in a class, you can do these, or by yourself at home, you can click on the link. And the cool thing is, once you've answered, you will see what everyone else around the world has also answered. So you can compare your answers and maybe discuss that. But there are no right or wrong answers. Well, there are no wrong answers. Every answer is right, because it's how you feel, and no one can question that. Then we have another quick poll, which is all about environmental solutions you've heard of. So we're just getting you started on, have you heard of recycling? Yes. Have you heard of repairing things? Yes. Have you heard of regenerating nature? That's a mouthful. Yes. Have you heard of reusing resources? Yes. Good. Well, we're in a good place if you've heard of all of those. But if you haven't, we also have some awesome words to help you on your way. So in those teacher notes that I mentioned, all of these awesome words are explained. But in a class, of course, you could ask all of the students and say, hey, who knows what reuse means? Hey, who knows what repair means? And hopefully you'll get some cool answers. I'm sure you will. We also have a few here. Economy, tougher to answer. What is the economy? Wow, it's a tough topic, especially in the UK at the moment. If you've watched the news, very difficult to talk about for me. And then we have things like product, natural resources, and circular. Words I am sure all of you budding not budding, you are environmentalists. You're not to be environmentalists, you already are environmentalists. All of you will know what these words mean, or some of them, I'm sure. So, Jen, I think we'll show the first video introducing circular economy. So take it away. Let's have a look.
This is Earth, our home planet. It gives us everything we need and more. But now, the planet needs our help. With challenges like climate change threatening wildlife and communities around the world, we need to rethink how we live. Humans have always been very good at making use of the things that planet Earth provides us with. We call these natural resources. For example, we use plants as food, wood to build homes, water to drink, and metals and minerals to make tools and technology. But there is a problem. We take natural resources, make them into products, and when we're done using them, we throw them away as waste. Take, make, waste. A straight line where resources go in and waste comes out. The more things we make, the more resources we use up, and the more waste and pollution we produce. What happens to all this waste? Most ends up in landfill, a big hole in the ground for dumping trash in. Some natural resources are renewable, like plants, or the wind, and the sun. We can use them again and again, and they won't run out. However, many resources are not renewable, like metals, minerals, oil, and coal. Once we've used them up, they're gone. If we continue this take, make, waste way of doing things, many of our resources will run out. How will we make the things we need? How will we feed people? What kind of planet will we have? To protect our futures, we need to do things differently. Doing things in straight lines isn't working. So what can work? What if we look to nature for inspiration? After all, nature has been thriving on our planet for 3.8 billion years. Nature never works in straight lines. It works in cycles. There's no such thing as waste. Everything gets used again and again to make new things. Let's look at an apple. An apple tree grows and produces apples. When an apple falls, it feeds animals and bugs before it rots, releasing its nutrients and seeds into the soil. Add a little water and sunlight, and a new apple tree will grow. Animals get a good meal, the soil gets a healthy dose of nutrients, and the apple tree gets to make another tree. Again and again. It's win, win, win. Just imagine if we designed everything to work this way. Take a mobile phone. What if, instead of throwing the phone away when a new one comes out, we reused or shared it? What if we repaired or upgraded it? And when it can no longer be used, what if we recycled it so its materials could be used to make a brand new phone? If designed correctly, the phone and the resources used to make it could be used again and again, just like the apple. Everything in nature works in cycles, so maybe it's time we did too. The first step is to start designing things differently. By moving from a straight line to a circle, we can end waste and pollution, we can keep the things we need in use, and we can regenerate nature. This is good for people and the planet. The best thing is that this change is already happening. It's called the circular economy. It will take a lot of imagination and creativity to make the circular economy a reality. But luckily, people's brains are great at this kind of problem solving. Our ideas can help the planet and everything that lives here. Together, we can build the change.
Incredible, incredible kind of system, incredible approach to changing how we see the world and how we design things. Circular economy. I hope that video gave you a really small taste of what we're going to explore in this workshop when you do it in your classes. We have a question here. How can we young people make an impact and change when powerful ones don't listen to us? This question is a brilliant question, and it's a question that makes me also very sad, because I'm, part of the generations that aren't listening to you enough, and I'm doing all I can to change that with our team. But it's a really good question. How do we make them listen? You have some amazing role models that have kick-started a change, and you know who I'm talking about. One of them is called Greta, but there's many, many, many with her. And these numbers are going to grow and grow only if young people continue to speak and share their ideas and amplify and shout. And as long as organizations like Take Action Global and the Climate Action Project and the Lego Group and other like-minded organizations continue to give you platforms to share your ideas, we need to all work together. And that means working together with older generations. And we need to do that as soon as we can. So keep up what you're doing. There isn't really one answer for that. It's a tough question, but it's super important. Thank you, Mariana, and good luck to you on your journey with that. Julia Fliss, question from you. How can we connect with other schools who play and Lego so we can collaborate? That is a cool question, and I do not have the answer. I wish I did. But one thing, I will take that question, I promise, and discuss it with Jen and Cohen at Take Action Global, and we'll see what we can do, because I think that would be a beautiful thing. And we've talked about that in the Lego group as well. How can we connect schools more? So maybe it started here, thanks to you, Julia. Thank you. All right, we'll get back to you on that question. Thank you very much. And maybe you can invent, yes, maybe you can build something to make that happen. I love that. Brilliant. Already thinking the right way, building the change. Cool. So back to, just going to stretch my arms a bit. It's getting late in the day in the UK, but not as late as some of you in India and places like that. So well done for staying up so late. Back to the deck. So once you've shown the video, you can go through a reflection phase. It's very important to reflect. And then we introduce this. So we have 3 pillars. I'm not going to go into details on these because that's up for the workshop, but we have worked with the Ellen MacArthur Foundation and used their framework. So a framework is super, super useful for anything in life. And having a framework for this is super important. We have 3 pillars here. Excuse me. One of them is, let's eliminate waste and pollution. If we do that, we can slowly move to circularity. It's not the only thing we need to do. We also need to work out how to keep resources in use. How can we design things so we can use them again and again? Equally, back to the first point, how can we design things so there's less waste or zero waste? Third column, how can we regenerate nature? Nature is struggling. Let's be honest. It's not having the best of times, and we need to help it. And I'm sure all of you are very aware of biodiversity and all the challenges that's facing. And man, it needs help, and we can work with nature. We don't need to see ourselves separate from nature. As you know, we can bring it together. We are part of nature, and we forget that, don't we, somehow? All those adults that don't listen, that's probably what they think. We're separate from nature. They are not correct. We need to remind them, don't we? Good. Now, once we've looked at these pillars like this, you will then a little bit of a deep dive into each pillar. So the first one is eliminating waste and pollution. Now, each of these pillars has a video for you. I'm not going to show all of them today, but we will show the first one, video 2A, Jen, if you can line that one up. And this is a shorter clip, has a little bit of a recap on the video you've just seen, but that's because, you know, we're watching these in isolation sometimes and people need to remind themselves of what they've seen. So without further ado, let's look at eliminating waste and pollution.
In our modern world, we take natural resources, make them into products, and when we're done using them, we throw them away and they become waste. Take, make, waste. It works in a straight line. Resources go in and waste comes out. It's bad for people, and it's bad for the planet. To prevent this, we need to learn from nature. Nature never works in straight lines. It works in cycles. Everything gets used again and again to make new things. By moving from a straight line to a circle, we can end waste and pollution, we can keep the things we need in use, and we can regenerate nature. Eliminating waste and pollution is the focus of this story of change. Imagine you have a garden, and every day you dig a little hole in the ground to bury your old stuff in. Now, imagine what it would look like after 1 year. There would be very little green space left for wildlife, harmful chemicals and gases in the ground and in the air, and soil so unhealthy, nothing would grow in it. This is what's happening with the waste on our planet. The only difference is that we're not doing it in our own gardens. But it doesn't have to be like this. We can design things to be circular, which means they stay in use and never become waste. One company called Declic is doing just that. Declic collects organic waste, like orange peel and coffee grounds from one business, loads it onto a bicycle or an electric vehicle, and sells it on to another business that can use it to make something new. For example, the orange peels taken from a cafe can be used to make hand soaps and skincare products. Without Declic providing this service, the orange peels would simply be thrown into landfill where they would rot. Not only is this bad for nature, but cities have to pay tax for sending this waste to landfill. One business's waste becomes another's resource, which is the kind of give and take that happens in nature too. So how is a business like Declic helping us move towards a circular economy? To start with, less waste means less pollution, which means less damage to the environment and people's health. They have also helped create more jobs, as businesses need to hire people to turn the waste into products and then sell them. Circular economy in action. Pretty cool, right?
Amazing. I hope you enjoyed that. So that's an example case study video, and we've got 2 more of those in the workshop that you can work through. We have had some questions. Here we go. Is there a framework to apply Lego with this purpose? Now, yes, if I understand you correctly, you're asking if the Lego group are also looking at circularity, and yes, we are. The environmental responsibility team are in charge of that, and I'm very close with them, obviously, through all the work I do. And there's some big things happening. Now, we make plastic toys, and we recognize that. It's not a single-use plastic, but it is plastic. And we have made commitments to, find the most sustainable solutions or alternatives for these materials. So we've already replaced, all the plant elements. I'm looking for one around my desk. I usually have one. All the plant elements in Lego sets are already sugarcane-based plastics. So we've removed oil-based plastics from there. And our next project is working on the prototypes that we announced last year, the PET bottle, recycling PET bottles into Lego bricks. So there was some news on that. Keep your eye out for more information on that in the future. But it's very exciting. We are working hard. They are working hard. We are still a family-run business. And luckily, they are super, super engaged with the environment and want to make sure that all of you have the best planet possible in the future. Good. Next question. David, how painful is it to step on Lego bricks on a scale of 1 to 10? I have to say 10, maybe 10, maybe 11 if we bump it up a bit. Maybe it's an 11. It hurts, but it's a sign of good quality, they say. It's a sign of good quality that it hurts consistently over the decades just as much. Good. Can more than one idea be submitted by one participant? Absolutely. Submit as many ideas as you like. There is a way to submit them. We'll share that with you later. Jen will post the link. Just share your ideas. That's a wonderful question. I hope you feel energized to do that, because it would make us very happy, and we would take those and share them with the right people. A school, Paso Soto School. How can we convince people to change their opinion about climate change? Wow. I don't know if I'm qualified enough to answer that, but I have to do the same sometimes myself in conversations I have with various people around the world. There's no easy answer for this too. I think it's a case of evidence. It's a case of compassion. It's a case of making it meaningful for that person that you're talking to. Sometimes it just needs to be something that's happening on their doorstep so they can see it. And as we know, more and more things are happening on our doorsteps. Crazy weather, rising sea levels, pollution, a lot of things are happening. And we just need to keep communicating, and to do it in a way that doesn't alienate others. So people might not believe in climate change, but we need to bring them in for dialogue and talk with them and hear why they don't believe it, and then provide the counter argument in a really succinct, honest, compassionate way. And I think that doesn't always work, and you need people like Greta who will stand up there and hold people accountable. But I think we need a mix of approaches. So whatever you're comfortable with, work at it, and good luck to you. We will all work together on this. Very good question. I hope that helped a little bit. No real insight there, perhaps. Yes, one more than one idea can be submitted. We answered that one. Thanks, Jen. Any other questions going? Good. We're good to move on. Now, every video has a time to reflect afterwards, and that's just really important to do. And let's just go on here. Then after each case study, we have a 10-minute creative challenge. Now, this is not something we want you to spend hours on. This isn't even the main challenge. This is just something for us to get, break the flow of presentation mode and get hands-on, minds-on with some physical materials and writing. For this one, actually, I've recommended that everyone just draws a sketch, of your ideas, because 10 minutes isn't long. So you can see all of that in the teacher notes to get some tips on that. But this challenge is fun. Design a school cafeteria that produces no kind of waste. Love it. And that will start getting your mind thinking. And when you get to the big challenge at the end, you can pull on all of these 10-minute challenge ideas and integrate them into your answer, perhaps in some way. Good. All right. So, by the way, there was one question on languages. We've only got the pack in English at the moment, but we are working on a Central American, South American Spanish version as well. So that will be coming soon, and we'll make sure that we get it out to you. Okay. The full course is already available in that language, so do check that out afterwards. So we've got time to share if you're in a class, and the next topic is keeping resources in use. I won't show you the video, but it's another fun video, and we look at a company called the Lego Group and how we're taking bricks from around the world back, and we're pushing them back out into the communities where children, don't necessarily have the money to buy Lego sets. And it's a really positive program. So we're keeping bricks that aren't being used in circulation. And we do that actually as part of the Build the Change program in the US especially. So have a look at that one. Time to reflect, quick create. This one is all about designing a space where people can bring in old things and turn them into new things. And we would love you to think about a little story of one item and how it journeys through that transition into a new item that can be reused. Cool. And then the last pillar is, of course, regenerating nature. So we want you to have a look at that. There's a lovely video there. Do have a look when you do the workshop. There's some cool stuff in there. And we talk about a building in Paris that has basically become a tower for biodiversity, and it is a wonderful thing. So hopefully that will inspire you. The challenge here is to reimagine something in a town or city that can help regenerate nature. It could be a bus stop. It could be, a bus stop covered in flowers that brings pollinators back into that area. It could be that it's the stairs in an underground station. Stairs in underground stations are quite dark and damp. Well, they are in England at least. Very damp. Perfect environment for moss and ferns. Maybe there's something we can do there. Anyway, we'll leave it to you, but that should be a lot of fun. Then we get dun, dun, dun. I could do the like the. There we go. I just needed to do that and get it out of my system. Right, we get to the big challenge. The big challenge is called Welcome to Grimsville, and it's all about Grimsville. Grimsville, let's be honest, look at it. It's not having a great time. Things are closed. People are not feeling well. Nature has disappeared. Anyway, let's watch the video and you can find out more. Thanks, Jen.
Welcome to Grimsville, one of the dirtiest, most polluted towns in the world. Its streets are littered with trash. The river has more bottles than fish in it. The air is full of fumes. The residents are miserable and bored. Businesses are closing down. And there's almost no nature or wildlife left. Put simply, life in Grimsville is grim. But the town has been given some money from the government to clean up its act and become a world-leading circular town. It's time to show the world how a grim place like Grimsville can be turned into something beautiful. The good people of Grimsville have gotten to work, cleaning up the mess in the town. But that's not enough. The waste and pollution just keep on coming. Your challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to bring your vision for Grimsville to life, using everything you've learned about the circular economy. Think about the stories of change that you've heard. Can you borrow ideas from them? Can you change and even improve them? Whatever you create, ask yourself these 3 questions. How can we stop waste and pollution being created? How can we keep everything in use for as long as possible? How can we regenerate nature? And while you're at it, why not think of a new name for Grimsville too? So get that creativity flowing and put your ideas into action. Collaborate, communicate, think big and small. We can't wait to see what you come up with.
Stuff. Great stuff. So that, my friends, is your challenge, should you accept it. Could you redesign, reimagine, rethink Grimsville? Not just the place, but also the name. Could you give it a new name? But think about it in a circular way. So taking all the learning and discovery that you find in the 3 pillars that we mentioned earlier, how can you repurpose your ideas and put it to work, put it to action for Grimsville, or whatever you want to call it. If you want to call it David Town or Davidville, you know, it's a cool name. I won't be offended if you don't. Good. Right. So your challenge is very clear, and hopefully you want to get involved and share those ideas with us. To do that, let me just zoom forward a bit here. Let me just show you again what you need to do. So you download the workshop pack. There is the link below. So you can see below here, that is the link you need to download the pack and get involved. We will, I mentioned the Spanish version earlier, we will get that to you in a while. I need to work with my friends in Mexico on that one, but we will get it to you. Then you work your way through the pack. So you work your way through with the notes, and then at the end, it comes to uploading and sharing your ideas with the Climate Action Project team, and you do that through the link showing now. So 2 links, this is the second one, and that is to share your idea, to upload your idea. It can be a photo of your idea with a description. It would be great to have a description with your photo, so we really capture what your idea is. Okay, good. All right, I think, Jen, that is the end of my presentation. I hope that it's given you some energy. I've really enjoyed being here for the hour. It has been awesome. Thank you for, oh, I love all these comments. It's a pleasure. Yes, we are united. We are united in a crazy world that sometimes makes us feel like we're not united. We are united on this topic. And I love all of these comments. Thank you, Julia, for this comment too. We can create a better world, and using your imagination and using all the materials around you to do that is great. Thank you. Thank you for the kind comments. Yes, it is a fun tool. Thank you. You like the drumming? Yes, me too. It keeps me awake. Whenever I'm in business meetings, I'll just turn the camera off and sit there and drum. I don't really do that. I'm just kidding. But yes, I love it. Love it. Thank you for all the comments. Jen, are you there in studio too?
I'm back. I'm back, David. Wonderful to be back here with you. Thank you for that amazing hour and the session and all these ideas. We are ready for action. I have been following behind the scenes. We have amazing comments. We're going to have to share them with you after because you're going to want to see them all. But we had people join in the beginning. They stayed with us the whole time. And then we had people from other countries join in the middle too. So I've been chatting with them and sharing ideas, sharing all the links.
I love it.
And we're going to follow up with an email as well. So anyone who is registered, you will get an email from us with all of the links that David was sharing and the resources on how you can take action with your classrooms.
Love it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jen. Thank you to the team, Climate Action Project team. And thank you to all of you and your ideas and your passion for the planet. We have a lot of work ahead of us, but we're in the right place. And as someone said earlier, we're united. So let's keep at it. Let's keep our energy up, keep our motivation up, and change the world. All right?
That's exactly it. Well, and we're so grateful that you keep coming back. Our classrooms now know you, and you're going to be coming back very soon. I know in a few weeks for Climate Action Day, and you're going to be back with us sharing ideas. We're going to be together on November 3rd. So, and now I'm following your lead. It does get a little tricky here, right here. Register for Climate Action Day 2022. And we are going to have a full day. We're going to have lots of friends like David joining in, climate experts, political leaders, people who care about the voices of students and teachers. And we will have classrooms presenting some of their ideas as well. So we can't wait to be there with you, Kuhn, myself, David, all of our friends. And we're going to be keeping in touch, of course, with you and everything that's happening with Lego and Build the Change. And we're so grateful for all of the work that you and your awesome team are doing.
Amazing. Thanks, folks. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you. All right. So we will talk to you soon. Be sure to follow the hashtag ClimateActionEDU. Keep the conversation going. We have friends that are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We are going to be following up. Make sure you follow David and all of the fun that he's having with his emphasis on play and creativity and taking action for the planet. So, David, thank you. We will see you again soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Talk to you soon.